Okay, so I have no idea what to do with the wine room, like, whatsoever. But I hear that I can probably solve the piano. I don't know what the solution is. But I should have what I need. Whatever that is. Yeah, I don't know what the solution's gonna be. We have two ones. We have, a 0, a 3. It's not numbers of notes, because we've got things like 9. Well, maybe. It could be... It could be notes. Because we've got a 3. 2, 0, 4, 0, 2, 0, 2, 2, 0, 2, 3, 6, 9.
I am an old woman. I'm yesterday's news. I dream in black and white, see it all through laser eyes. I am an old woman. I was born to sing the blues. I dream in black and white, see it all through laser eyes. Before I go, I'll see it all through laser eyes. I'll see it all through laser eyes. I'll see it all through laser eyes. I'll see it all through laser eyes.
That was correct. Obviously. Also, if it wasn't clear what was going on here before, I think that might have just spelled it out for me and made me absolutely certain that I know what's going on. Such a beautiful piece. Wonderful, Signorina. Thanks. How long have you been sat there listening? Sometimes music lingers in the room, almost like magic. The reddest rose. Just for you, Signorina. It sure is red. In the absence of cuckoos, I must be the singer. It's time to return to the project. Well done, Signorina. There is no door there. Well, I know what to do with this. Hey, buddy. Sometimes you just need to not overcomplicate the puzzles. Hello. A red rose would awaken the recollections of my magic. Hold on, I should probably examine this first. Given by a man after playing the piano, the flower is in bloom and has a pleasant smell. The rose is of the an Duncan rose variety, which was first cultivated in northern Germany in the 19th century. A single red rose often has romantic connotations, but the Anne Duncan has long been a favourite among stage performers. It is traditionally associated with the love of art rather than romance. This particular rose was handed over in an act of magic, which suggests the flower is not what it appears to be. Have a rose. Yes! I remember it like yesterday. Do you? And we're back in the room. Cool. Welcome to the sideshow, sister. For a measly 10 American dollars, I can show you a trick I call the disappearing woman. It might take you to unexpected places. Not right now. And same thing. Maybe later. Grab that thing. This theatre is a tragic lie. A parade for the slumbering. The main attraction is waiting on the stage. But on the edge of this deception there are lost woods. Travel there to hear the stories passed down through centuries. For a modest gift, he can arrange your journey. Fine to be there. Here. Be welcome to Pietro Rosso, sister. Our ancient order knew of your return. Our prophecy told of a sister bringing us magical cards. We saw that it would open the doors to her past. Tell me, sister, did you bring us any magical cards? I might have a couple. They've been hanging around in my inventory forever. The card of death. Use it wisely, sister. And I also have a Ace of Hearts. The card of love. Fantastic, that gives me even more directions to go in. Not right now. Sure. Your support keeps the arts alive, sister. Now, please brace yourself. Hello. You have travelled far to get here. Come closer and I will tell you how all this started. This is the tragic story we call the Legend of Creation. Thousands of years ago, the third eye shone over the islands in the far east, but one night it fell from the sky. A human found it, and when she held it, she saw the magic of the world. She had a vision, and so she painted a creature in red ochre on a cave wall. At night, the crimson beast awoke. It spread chaos and death and devoured the human and her people. The story of the red creature became legend, but the third eye lived on and appears in the most unlikely of places to this day. No. That's quite alright. Not entirely sure what use that little story will be. But it is quite similar to, some of what the books in the library say. And we have had images drawn on cave walls before as well. Plus, you know, red appears to be a bit of a theme. Basically the only colour in this game apart from black and white. It's all black and white and red all over. Like a penguin with a felt tip, I don't know. Alright. Second floor. One on the left, one on the right. Both look like they're only gonna unlock little rooms. But those little rooms could house important things. Hold on. Turned into its current form by a magician. Considering its size, it's very light. When held, the key drastically changes its desaturated hue to a bright red, but the difference can only be seen by the person holding it. Magically transforming items such as this have a tendency to turn red due to the spectral information encoded within. This particular item seems to conceal information regarding its past life as a card, but there's currently no known technology that allows the information to be decrypted. Though magical, its usage is restricted to unlocking doors. Items transformed through magic can rarely be reverted back to their original form. Same thing. Now we can open it. Scrapbook. Scrapbook is full of newspaper and magazine clippings. Toys on display in museum. Interactive exhibition opens this weekend. Citizens in Dusseldorf visiting Busking... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. In hopes of seeing beautiful paintings on display will be severely disappointed. Curator Anne-Catherine Brun states that the art of the future will require participation. The spectator will interact with the artwork and perhaps even co-create it. The first wave of this so-called art is an exhibition called Verschlossinge Erinnerungen, spearheaded by Lorelei, a lesser-known artist from Frankfurt who thought it necessary to litter a fine institution like Büchinger with childish puzzle boxes that only the most fixated could possibly open. A fine product for country fairs, no doubt, but Fräulein Wes's clothing and insistence upon wearing sunglasses indoors suggest that she is the hubris to think that her trinkets belong in the upper echelons of art society. Opening boxes in search of locked memories is a prime example of what is wrong with art today. Sounds like somebody didn't see escape rooms coming. 50 years ago. 60 years ago. 70 years ago. Report from Electronic Art Symposium. Engineers are artists in this innovative exhibition. Earlier this week, the exciting Electronic Arts Symposium took place in the Mess. The exhibition is open to everyone and hopes to show the exciting happenings in the world of electronic devices and how they can be used for more than work and calculations. Among the selected items was Lorelei, known for her puzzle boxes and, recently, her innovative use of computers. Her contribution caused quite a sensation, as its deliberate malfunction caused some panic. Wes is not too keen to talk about what the work of art meant. She does not want to end discussions by giving a correct answer. Veteran art critic Morris Talbot suggested it was a comment on the unreliability of technology, but concept artist Ishiki Tanaka thought that Wes wanted to show us the death of an artwork. An Animal Terrible review. There can be little doubt that Renzo Nero is not a filmmaker for everyone's taste. His critics find him crude yet pretentious. His latest film won't win them over, but I don't think Nero cares. An Animal Terrible is in many ways an experiment in audience participation. A number of scenes present the audience with tough choices about what should happen next. Regardless of the audience choices in An Animal Terrible, the film always ends with Lucia coming back to life. This interactive film thus makes fun of its own concept of interactivity. Nero says that this is a comment on the illusion of democracy, but it works just as well as a joke about the illusion of interactivity. We like to think that we affect outcomes, but in truth most of us are mere spectators. Superfluous tired eyes. It's the participation that in the end makes An Animal Terrible such an intense viewing. It should be essential viewing for anyone remotely interested in the development of narrative media, but be warned it is not a pleasant film by any means. Renzo Nero wins big in Monte Carlo. Will spend the money on new film project. The director caused some mirth when he arrived in Club Rouge with a grocery bag stuffed with American dollar bills and stated that he was there to clean house. According to witnesses, Renzo Nero was in good spirits and joked with both staff and other patrons. Despite the rumours about Renzo Nero when it comes to romance, our reporter, Miss Melissa Dubois, caught Renzo Nero in the company of starlet Carla Romano and socialite Felicia Levy, both drinking champagne, but the big winner celebrated with a double espresso. Were you not afraid to lose such an amount? No. First of all, it was not my money. Secondly, I had seen in the stars that I would win. There was no reason to worry. Risky business, gambling with a production budget. If you lost, there would be no movie. There would be no movie, but it's better to have no movie than a bad movie. I needed more money than the studio gave me. Do you think you've set an example for other filmmakers? No, it was a terrible idea that turned out very well. Casinos are crooks. I got lucky. I would recommend filmmakers to rob banks instead, because gambling is immoral. Good luck with your next picture, Mr. Nero. Thank you, Bella Melissa. It will be the one. We're restarting cinema from the beginning, to the time when celluloid was magic, not for passing the time between hamburgers. And we got a playing card for that. The Ace of Clubs. Death at Hotel. Where we are. About the window, maybe. Police are coy about details. The police are investigating a death that occurred at Hotel Jar yesterday evening. The hotel has been closed for the season, but according to neighbours, there had been a film shoot in the weeks past. The police weren't confirmed there was any correlation between the film production and the death. Commissar Schmidt, who is in charge of the investigation, refuses to release any further information. The investigation is in a delicate phase at the moment, and therefore the deceased's identity will not be released at this time. We cannot rule out the possibility of a crime, and as such it is standard procedure to treat it like a murder investigation, the police commented earlier this morning. Quite a few years later. Report from the inside of the Third Eye movement. Cult or commune? I was confused when I received an invitation to an eye-to-eye session from the Third Eye movement. After some research, mostly consisting of buying fellow writers a drink, my confusion turned to excitement. The Third Eye movement is, apparently, a gathering of painters, musicians, composers, directors, photographers, and writers. and so I thought it was in my capacity as a Mendig awarded journalist that I was invited. Jose Marie Gill, the European branch's Magnus Magister Artis, maintained that it was due to a little read collection of poetry I released back in the 60s. Jose Marie made it clear that it would not occur to him to let journalists into their midst, as journalism is a reactive craft and not a creative one. You see, the Third Eye movement is solely for those filled with the power of creation, something I would hear more about in the weeks to come. What I thought was a secret club for avant-garde bohemians was in fact something entirely different. It was like being offered a seat at King Arthur's round table. I suddenly found myself part of a quest, not for the Grail, but for something else. Metaphysical power? An entity? A treasure of sorts? No one knew, or wanted to tell me, but it was clear that it had, perhaps thousands of years ago, appeared somewhere in Sulawesi? The members whispered of it as a zeitgeist, and they now believed it was to be found in Central Europe. Another bundle of years later. Where are they now? Elusive computer image innovator who never entered the spotlight. Another thing obscure artists is the archaeology of the 21st century, whether it's a long-dead nativist painter from Sweden, a minimalist composer from Latvia, or a mediocre Edwardian horror writer. They are all dug up and put on display. Obscurity adds value to a body of work, and by digging them up, we deprive them of that value. But the thing about Lorelei Wes's most interesting art is that it can't be sold, because no one even knows if it exists anymore. Gallery owner Gaston Rousseau pours us a cup of coffee in his apartment in Paris. Last year, he started to research the possibility of doing an exhibition which would act both as a tribute and retrospective of the eclectic artist. He had hoped to recreate her last art with the help of Wes herself and today's most admired names in computer art. She was the Gauguin, no idea who that is, of the electronic era, Rousseau tells Art Filler. Art Filler? Art Filter. If all of Gauguin's work had been burned, that is. Wes was an elusive figure, even when she was in Zenith, but after the Nero affair, for which he's sadly most remembered, few have met her. Through Rousseau's network in the art world, he managed to track her down in Hamburg and swiftly travelled to arrange a meeting with her. I was too late. I had such big plans. Maybe I was a fool to believe that I could create a renaissance for long-forgotten electronic art pioneer. Rousseau sighs. The older woman I met could hardly see, let alone speak. It didn't look like she had much time left. The Internet Mystery of the Ocu3. Truth or fake? We dive deeper into the modern myth of the 1960s supercomputer. We've all heard the story by now. In Orgenweldberg, when entrepreneurs Mick Otto and Rob Geib are building a Euro funland, complete with golf courses, spas and restaurants, a construction worker came upon a computer believed to be from the 1960s, the OCU-3. First found in what was the basement of the older mansion, which previously stood on the grounds, it was later sold at a flea market and eventually ended up in the hands of an anonymous individual known as Putith on several forums. Putith then claims to have managed to reconstruct parts of the data on the Ocu3. We've all seen the results on the internet, we've all been astonished by it, and we've all asked ourselves the same questions. Was this type of technology available in the 1960s? Could an entire interactive retrospective be made or even fit on the primitive devices of that time? In the coming weeks, we'll try to answer these questions and dive deeper into the mystery of the Ocu3. Well, now I have another card to convert. Also, lore. I'll go on then. Is this your card? Found behind a newspaper clipping in a scrapbook. Club Rouge Monte Carlo is written in swirly red letters on the back. The texture on the front of the card does not match the back. There are slight markings on the edge of the back, and the front is starting to come off. Differing textures suggest card altering. Card altering is a dangerous and uncommon technique among a very small subset of European card sharpers. Unlike other techniques, card altering is prepared before a game and requires craftsmanship, confidence, and trust in faith. It is said to have been invented by a group of artists in the early 1900s. The Card of Luck. Are not all cards in some manner or another? Anyway, yes. Very cool. Hold on. I just had a thought. I'm gonna write this down. This may be valuable later. If I can stop bumping my book against the keyboard keys. Write that down, write that down, write that down. Alright. Yeah, this way. And this way. It's full of incomplete and short notes. Fake gun, body moved, Americans. RN equals L. Is that, Reno Nero equals Lorenzo? There is a case file marked case 630113RN. Autopsy report. The subject has a substantial visible fracture in the os frontale. The fracture has caused a severe injury to the frontal lobe. The injury is lethal, but in all likelihood the cause of death is the clavicle fractures in vertebrae C2 and C3 respectively. However, death from circulatory shock due to the extraction of the bulbous oculi cannot be completely ruled out. Why can you not just say eyes? Extraction wounds in the orbiter have been caused by a sharp, non-surgical instrument. The wounds inside the orbiter are similar to those made from a pocket knife. The wounds could be self-inflicted or by someone else. Given the amount of glass found on and inside of the subject, there cannot be any doubt that the subject crashed through the window on the 3rd floor. It is unlikely, but possible, that the subject fell through the window due to the impact needed to crush the glass. Therefore, the subject most likely either jumped through the window or was pushed. Death by illness or accident is unlikely. Due to the evidence at hand, the subject either committed suicide or was the victim of manslaughter/murder/involuntary manslaughter. Transcript of interrogation. Name of witness redacted. When did this change in behavior start? He was eccentric when I arrived, and then his mental state took a turn for the worse after a phone call from the production company. Were you frightened by him? Not at first, no. But at some point you did find him frightening. Yes, I did. In what way? Did he make you uncomfortable? Excuse me, Fräulein? He played with his revolver, and his thoughts were very dark. Evidence submission form? Evidence submitted: 1 espresso cup, 1 revolver, 1 playing card, some glass shards, and a letter. Red paint was found on item A, B, C, and D. Blood from the deceased was found on item D. Exact model or owner of item B could not be identified. Presumed to be a pre-war Italian model. I should have waited. Now I have another card to turn into a key. Police Beameter Andreas Coleman arrived at Hotel Litzjar at midnight. He was there greeted by Blank in the foyer. Blank was in a state of shock and spoke about eyes. After being calmed, Blank showed the officer on site the place of the incident. The deceased was found on the gravel path, lying face down. The legs were facing the house. The deceased's right arm was folded beneath Blank body, while the left arm was stretched out. A pool of blood had formed beneath the body, and the deceased had visible severe head injuries. The deceased had, in addition, severe injuries to Blank. Shards of glass were scattered on the body and around the scene. Upon closer inspection, there was additional red liquid near the body, which was believed to be red paint. There were 4 playing cards discovered in the inner pockets of the deceased. A second-floor window above the body had been shattered. The deceased was dead upon the arrival of Police Beameter Andreas Coleman. The deceased was identified by witness Blank as Blank Citizen Blank. According to Blank, the deceased had inflicted blank upon Blank and then blank. Case dismissal order. No definitive proof of foul play has been discovered in conjunction with the death of Blank. The physical evidence points towards Blank. It has been established that Blank suffered a manic psychotic breakdown. There have been conflicting professional opinions on whether the stab wounds in Blank could have been self-inflicted, but the majority state that Blank's forensic state might have given Blank the necessary willpower to inflict the injuries upon Blank. Further interviews with witness Blank have cleared the doubts surrounding her involvement in Blank's death. Therefore, no further measures will be taken in the case. Yeah, the door is right there. Whoop. Hold on. Nope, it's nothing. Do 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 do. Ba-da-dee-dee-dee-dee. Ba-da-da, ba-da-doo, ba-da-dee-da-dee-da-diddly-dee-doo. Red like roses. Found a police case file regarding case blah blah blah. Attached to an envelope submission form on the back, Club Rogue Monte Carlo was written in swirly red letters. 3 tiny stains of a red substance on the front of the card. No genuine attempts have been made to reopen the investigation of the case. Had the card been found earlier, it would have likely been evidence in the Club Rogue swindle instead. Now both cases remain unsolved. The Card of Wealth. You have been a wonderful audience. The trick was most impressive the first time. Pro tip, do not do the same magic trick 4 times in a row. Get some new material. Well, I kind of want to do the diamond door last, probably. Depends. Yeah. Near the club's door, anyway. Open up. Aha. Not down the ladder. I guess it gives me an opportunity to walk around the edge here and see if there's anything I missed, which I don't think there is. Fills out my documents and papers and magazines a whole bunch, doesn't it? So I have that script page to turn in as well. Stories. Yeah, I don't need to see it again. Not right now, anyway. Note found in typewriter. HTE. It's funny how there are symbols on these locks, and we never needed any of them. And how did you get yourself in this predicament? And why is there a photograph on your back? You can stay there. 14. Eh? This looks like a reflection. No, it's the top of one shape and the bottom of the other. So this would be 64. Why? As you can see, you have gotten me into trouble. Quite the metaphor you have created, Signorina. An escape artist who cannot break free from capitalism. Now, set me free, Signorina. A photo is taped to the man's back. That's a photo, alright. That's a lot of options. Must I? What if I try to leave? This project needs both of us. Well, I can just leave. Cannot finish the project alone. I don't really know what the answer would be, though. It's a 7-character word, unless it ends with punctuation. This is almost certainly wrong, but it is a 7-character word. Other words that could fit include, but are not limited to. That one. Grazie. Now that we're on our way to freedom from the monetary system, we can get back to the project. The man on this cassette is perfect for our needs. Magician video cassette. I will see you soon, Signorina. Not entirely sure what was supposed to clue me in that that was the answer, but it was a pertinent 7-character word. Uh-oh. Yeah. Hi. Don't mind if I don't. am glad that this room always seems to be a place of safety. Maybe because it says private on the door. Gesundheit. Okay, we are in the little chapel, most likely. On the back we have a glass, some footsteps, some sunglasses, and a mug. There is a key underneath the book on the stand. We're off to the left. There's a crucifix, there's some candles, one tall, one short, there's some goblets, there's the man by his camera. And there's not a whole lot else. What do you got for me? What was hidden in the secret compartment behind the altar? Sunglasses and a coffee cup. Interior hotel, chapel at night. The gate creaks open. A grandfather clock chimes somewhere in the house. The woman scans the dusky room for any signs of danger. There's no one there, save for a handful of wooden saints. Then the shadow of a man steps out from the compact darkness. The magician. He repeats the gesture. What does that mean? That I search for the third eye? The magician takes his hand off of his eyes. The woman raises an eyebrow and examines the magician closely. Why are you doing this? I can tell that it's you. When the third eye passes by, the world belongs to creators. It's a time for beauty and chaos. An artist will be crowned king, and he will lead our victory over Mammon. What do you want? My Brotherhood wants you to know that our Italian friend has suffered a nervous breakdown of game-changing proportions. The magician studies the woman's reaction. I trust that you can keep a secret. Should he be unable to finish this project, he could potentially set back art 200 years. That's ridiculous. I'm sworn to secrecy, but I can tell you this much. Your maze is of utmost importance to his mental health, to my order, and indeed to the future of mankind. It's just an art project. The magician takes a deep breath. A maze is a manifestation of something larger than you and I. Surrender to the red beast and let it guide thy hand. This maze must be the death blow to the materialistic society. I'm afraid that's beyond my reach. The magician takes off his hat and pulls out a journal. We had hoped it would not come to this, but we have read your diary. We know everything about you and what you've done. We've seen it in the stars and in the moon. I don't keep a diary. Well, it might not be yours in this dimension, but we're all one here. It's the same story in different times. Stop it. What do you want? We're simply asking you to play along with the game. For the sake of the project. It would be easier for us. I've had enough. Very well, Signorina. I'll relay your answer to my superiors. They will be disappointed. My Brotherhood cannot guarantee your safety if you won't follow protocol. Hello! I have a couple more pages for you. Here you are. And we also have a cassette that I should probably look at first. Given by a man after freeing him from his chains. The label reads 82-minute magnetic KLB electronics cassette. Storing your memories. Magician Audition is messily written with a red marker pen on the label. KLB Electronics is mostly known for their early computer work, but was also an early producer of magnetic tapes for storing data. If the content of this cassette is what the label claims, it would be one of very few pieces of lost media from the Third Eye, and would as such be in very high demand in the underground video collecting community. Well, let's see it then. Yeah, from the top, if you would. Left. Right. Right. Left. 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 Right. Right. Left. 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 Right. Right. Triple left. Double right. Double left. Got it. Don't know what it's for, but I got it. And we go this way. It's a wooden figurine. Minus 1847. It's locked. Voltage shortcut 4. $2014. And there's also a balcony. We know of it from the map. Doesn't appear to be important, however. Door 4. I walked on floors of germanium. Before me were 3 crosses and 2 columns. A guard asked me for the code. I called Agatha's detective for a hint, but he had moved to another country. The guard told me that if I was wise, I should count my teeth. What was the code? Agatha's detective is Poirot. I don't know what germanium is, apart from something German, probably. Adult humans typically have 32 permanent teeth, 28 without wisdom teeth. 32. Correct. Everything else is apparently unimportant nonsense. And you are gonna be 2014 minus 1847. 167. Correct. That's what I thought. Save, save, and save again. What have we done here, then? Trapped again, are we? Not gonna stop me from solving the puzzle this time, though. Whoops. Wrong place entirely. 15. What number should go in the last shape? Do 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 do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it is the... It's two one-digit numbers. It's the number of sides on the outer black shape, followed by the number of sides on the inner white shape. Kind of. Even though the circle is technically wrong. A circle has one... well... I think that a circle has one side. In my humble opinion. Either way, it doesn't really matter. The answer is 67. For 51 years you've kept me locked up. Signorina, let me go. It's locked. A photo was taped to the door. I don't know who this is. It's the woman who fell out of the window. I know that. But I have no idea what her name is, unfortunately. Sorry, buddy. Ah. This is down here. This is down here. Yeah, 6 characters name. Six character name. Yeah, great. I don't need to look at that again. Not right now. Hmm. So probably the woman in this poster. But there's no other information about what the poster is. No, I don't think we have anything relevant. Meaning you're gonna have to stay there for now, I'm afraid. As for me, I really rather need to figure this out. This room is still weird for the sheer amount of nothing it appears to contain. This shelf is different to the other shelf. Hmm. I thought they were the same. They are not the same. One of these things is not like the other. Some of these things are kinda familiar. Um... Okay, so we've got Gargania. Nothing on this shelf. Muller. Go. And this. Schwezling. Guess I'll just try them in every possible order. There's only 3 of them, so there's only so many possible orders. Okay, it's not G first. It is that way round. Why? I don't know. But with 3 things, there's only 6 possible orders for them to be arranged in, so it is not difficult to brute force. And save some more. We are going places. Right. Let's see. Let's try 1847. It is correct. And they're also in red liquid back here. Same as they are over here. But larger. I see how it is. Yeah, I already see how it is. I barely even had to glance at the code, and I already know how it is. Okay. This. 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 And finally, this. So I think this is from here to here, then here, 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 there, and here, to here, here, and here, and finally from here to here and down to here. Real cool. They're swipe codes. You start at the top center for the eye, top of the middle, top of the middle. Here's position 1, here's position 2. You can tell which way these are going because the liquid smear gets fainter the further on it is. So we start here, then here, then here, 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 and finally back up here. The next one starts down here, then goes up there, there, and there, and yeah. A biblical reference? Good idea, Signorina. The forbidden fruit. It is an apple. The first entertainer in Eden was the snake. As such, it was actually God. It understood the need for action. And isn't that why you came here? You want action and violence. Go ahead. Take it. We got a revolver. Now let's play a real game. The revolver turned into a revolver key. Funnily enough, not even the first time I've seen that happen in a video game. Haha, that's brilliant, Signorina. How did you do that? You are a true magician. But then, where the hell did you hide the real gun? It was given by a man in the orangery as part of a questionable game. It looks like a real revolver, but has a key construction sticking out from its muzzle. There is a genuine-looking bullet left in the cylinder. There are traces of dark powder on the grip frame on which the letters RN are engraved. The design is a pre-war Italian model, and the engraving is likely a monogram. These facts indicate that this is, or is meant to look like, the infamous Cine revolver, which fatally injured an actor while filming a William Tell adaptation at Cine to Zero Studios. This grisly providence, in addition to its involvement in the death at Hotel des Jars, has made it a much sought-after item among connoisseurs in the black market. And now it's also a key. That door, I think, was back up on floor 3? No. Yes, no, I don't even remember. It was up here, I think. Oh, I think. Probably.